One of the most hyped isekai, but with a controversial animation. Let's recap everything from the beginning after the end, Season 1. The story opens with a powerful king who ruled and conquered countless lands. But one day, he is suddenly sent to another world, and hears a voice telling him to seek the light in his next life. Arthur awakens as a baby and notices his parents care for him kindly. He soon learns this world is dangerous. Reynolds uses magic to break a boulder and hunts a boar, while Alice heals him when needed. Realizing he must grow strong, Arthur enjoys this peaceful life compared to his past as a hunted assassin. After learning to crawl, he explores the library, discovers the Dicathan continent and its 3 kingdoms, and studies magic, learning that mana usually awakens at puberty but can form earlier with focus. 2 years later, Alice worries as Arthur trains with Reynolds, noticing he never smiles. During a town visit, Arthur sees magic and realizes he enjoys being loved. Convincing Alice to let him read, Arthur forms a mana core in the library, causing an explosion. Reynolds shields Alice, and seeing his parents cry, Arthur feels emotions he never knew. He recalls his past life as a king, where he killed a family in an act of mercy. Back in the present, he proves his talent, trains with the Twin Horns adventurers, and faces wolves, bandits, and challenges from Adam, impressing everyone. Jasmine grows close and gives him a knife for his birthday. Later, bandits attack again. Reynolds is injured, Alice risks revealing her magic, and Arthur fights to protect her. When a mage attacks, he shields his mother, disables the mage with his knife, and collapses. Realizing the value of life and his desire to protect his future sibling, Arthur awakens alone in the forest and meets Sylvia, who feeds him, assures him his parents are safe, and warns of danger. While waiting for a portal, he trains in advanced mana control and promises to use his strength to protect, not harm. A powerful creature attacks. Sylvia hides Arthur, reveals her dragon form, stops time, opens a portal, and gives him an egg and feather marking his arms. She admits she cherished their time together. Time resumes. Sylvia stays behind, is struck, and tells Arthur to remember her lessons and live without hatred as he escapes. Arthur wakes alone with the egg and finds an elf girl, Tessia, surrounded by bandits. Remembering Sylvia, he controls his anger, disables their enchanted hounds, silently kills the bandits, defeats the leader, frees her, and hides the bodies. Injured and afraid, Tessia clings to him, explaining that she is lost. Arthur decides to help her return home. They bond on the journey to her homeland. Before they arrive, Tessia names Arthur Art. They argue lightly until she finds a portal to her homeland and invites him to go with her. Elf guards immediately arrest Arthur. He thinks Tessia betrayed him until she begs them to stop, revealing he saved her. Her grandfather Virion arrives and reveals Tessia is the princess of Elenoir. Though her parents are relieved, they distrust Arthur. Virion asks to speak with him later. Arthur is brought to the kingdom and explains he was separated by bandits and saved Tessia from slavers. King Alduin believes him after Tessia confirms Arthur used magic. Arthur asks to return home, but Alduin explains the teleport gate opens every 7 years with 5 years remaining. Since Arthur cannot stay long, Alduin orders an escort for the next day. Arthur's mana core pain worsens while bathing. That night, Tessia comforts him, but Virion attacks as a test. Arthur struggles, lands a hit, and impresses Virion, who offers to train him. Arthur initially refuses, but Virion warns he will die without training. Despite Alduin's objection, Virion takes Arthur away. On the journey, Virion explains Tessia's loneliness and helps Arthur speak to his parents on his birthday. He promises to return and becomes Virion's disciple. Back at the castle, Tessia convinces Alduin to let Arthur stay, and Virion becomes his teacher. Arthur notices their weaknesses, and Tessia happily asks him to play. That night, Tessia asks if he's ready for training, and the next day, Virion officially begins his beast tamer training. 3 years pass, and under Virion, Arthur and Tessia train. Virion explains elemental awakening and reveals Arthur avoided magic because his beast will cause his pain. Attempting to awaken it, a surge knocks everyone back and Arthur faints. He wakes, revealing his beast will is draconic. Virion warns to keep it secret and mentions a cultural exchange in 4 months, letting Arthur return home. That night, Sylvia's egg hatches into a baby dragon, Sylvie, who marks Arthur and speaks in his mind. Virion confirms Sylvie as a mana beast. Arthur struggles in combat against Virion, but soon fully controls his beast will, strengthening his body and ending the pain. Arthur invites Tessia to the forest. She admits she doesn't want him to leave and falls asleep by the fire. The next day, Arthur departs. Virion gives him a compass, and Tessia hugs him goodbye, promising to miss each other. Arthur reaches Xyrus City and reunites with his family. Elenoir doesn't recognize him at first. He explains everything except Sylvia, claiming he adopted her from a mana beast cave. Reynolds reveals he is now a security instructor with dark orange mana. Arthur reveals his light red mana, shocking everyone. They spar. Reynolds overpowers Arthur with fire, but Arthur pushes past his limits, releasing lightning and fire, then uses water to stop the flames. Everyone is stunned. Arthur can use 2 elements. Vincent Helstea praises him and offers to enroll him in Xyrus Academy, covering the costs. Arthur chooses to spend time with his family and later meets Lilia, who shows him her private spot. He learns she hides there when stressed, pressured by her parents to become a mage despite their lack of magic. Arthur meets the twin horns, realizes he's only seen Dicathan, and considers becoming an adventurer. On the way to the Helstea auction, Arthur sees Lilia upset and follows her as she tries to buy a mana core to awaken her magic. He warns her it won't work. After she's bullied, Tabitha steps in, revealing her Helstea status. Vincent learns what happened, and though Lilia apologizes, she lashes out, fearing Arthur is replacing her. Arthur comforts her and later tells Vincent she ran away to awaken her magic, making him realize he pressured her too much. When Lilia returns, Arthur reveals he planned the test. Vincent admits his mistake, but Lilia chooses to attend the academy anyway. Arthur then helps Lilia and Elenoir awaken their mana. Lilia succeeds, Elenoir shows early signs, and their parents celebrate, knowing years of training lie ahead. At the Helstea auction, Reynolds manages security as the crowd cheers. Arthur notices Sylvie is missing and finds her with Sebastian, who tries to claim her. Sebastian threatens his family, but Arthur refuses, enraging him and stunning everyone. King Glade offers to forgive Reynolds if Sylvie is surrendered or offers the world lion cub instead, but Arthur refuses both, declaring Sylvie is not for sale. Furious, Sebastian attacks with flames. Arthur stops time, disables him, and collapses from exhaustion, later healed by Alice. Next day, a royal messenger delivers gold from Glade as compensation, and the family accepts it. The next day, Arthur follows a strange bird into the forest, where the academy director tests him. Despite his attacks with wind, earth, and fire, she overwhelms him, praises his talent, and declares he has passed. Arthur explains he needs her authority to protect his family and promises to join the academy. She agrees but says he must wait 3 years and tells him to convince his parents first if he wants to train now. Alice worries he's too young, but Arthur promises to return often and explore Dicathan. Reynolds suggests sending him with someone trustworthy. Jasmine accepts. That night, Arthur sees Lilia meditating and realizes she no longer needs his help. He hopes Elenoir awakens her magic quietly. Arthur asks Reynolds to help pick a weapon and struggles to find a sword his size. Sylvie guides him to a heavy staff that glows when he channels mana, transforming into a perfect sword with runes. Arthur celebrates his 9th birthday. Alice gives him healing gauntlets, Vincent a mana monitoring ring, and Adam a message scroll. Arthur thanks everyone and prepares to leave. His family sees him off. Alice reminds him to stay safe and keep the ring on. Arthur begins traveling with Jasmine and registers at the Adventurers Guild under the alias Note, wearing a mask to hide from royals. Guild Chief Caspian skips the written test due to Jasmine's recommendation. They watch other exams. Lucas fails due to arrogance, and when he attacks the examiner, Arthur stops him by throwing his sword. Arthur's test begins. Caspian fights him personally, they clash briefly, and Arthur is warned not to get cocky. Caspian explains Elijah had a powerful guarantor and praises Arthur's sword skill, noting his great potential. Arthur reflects on growing comfortable with his natural talent. He meets Elijah and Lucas again. Tension rises, but nothing happens. Jasmine takes him to a beginner hunting area where a giant boar attacks adventurers. Jasmine fights it but nearly falls. Arthur saves her and defeats the beast with fire. That night, Jasmine shares her past. She was rejected by her family for lacking fire magic. Arthur says all elements are equal, seeing a reflection of his own past. She credits the twin horns for teaching her to trust others. Arthur admits he also needs to change to protect those he loves. At the same time, Tessia watches Arthur conflicted, while Varian encourages her to improve. The season ends 2 years later, with Arthur becoming the famous, overpowered, masked swordsman. If you want more recaps like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what anime you want to see next.